So it strikes me that there's a little bit of overlap between, you talked about the different categories of mediation law, and you've got, the mediation law that looks after mediator regulation, and also the mediation law that regulates what goes on in the room. If you're talking about mediator accountability, and you're talking about, how does, if you're trying to legislate against bad behavior by the mediator, then that surely relies upon a rigorous and robust Category 2 of the mediation law.
Wow. So great question. So look, first of all, let me say these are categories that help us understand and navigate sort of all of the regulatory sphere of mediation, right? And sometimes there will be overlap, but there's also a difference between the duties. So if you're talking about what the mediator needs to be doing, the professional, the duties, the professional duties and obligations of a mediator, that clearly falls into Category 4, rights and obligations.
Okay.
But it's a really good question because sometimes it might not be clear to everyone. And Category 2, the process, is really about how is the process managed. For example, when do you know it starts? When do you know it ends? Are there private sessions or not? Is the mediator allowed to provide any sort of legal information or advice of any kind? Or some of those things are related to how the process unfolds, and it is very close to Category 4. But Category 4 is much more on what are the obligations of the mediator.
Yeah. Sorry.
And if the mediator breaches those, technically, that's actionable.
Yeah. No. Sorry, I got confused. Category 3 and Category.
Sorry.
Category 3 and Category 4.
So Category 3 is setting standards, and it's also a good question. Yeah. Category 3 is what requirements do you need to fulfill in order to become a mediator, right? And do you have those?
Yeah.
And then Category 4 is once you have those and you are mediating, what duties? And it's important, they're different, and it's important because in some countries, like we come back to Austria, there are 3 different categories of mediators. I'm not going to explain them, all 3 of them, because it's a bit complicated. But basically, you can be a registered mediator under the Austrian mediation law, which means that the provisions of that law apply. But if you're doing cross-border mediation and you're not registered, because of the EU directive, you're also allowed to do cross-border mediations. And then there's a 3rd category of non-registered mediators also doing domestic and cross-border mediations. In fact, I might have those categories slightly wrong. But the point is that depending on whether you're registered or not, different obligations might apply to you.